Hey guys, Blue here. Sorry I suck at making videos, and I'm sorry I haven't posted one in a minute. I actually lost my best friend, my pride and joy, my baby, my everything. I lost my dog Puddles. Um, and I still haven't been able to cope with it super well. I lost her November 13th, 2015 at like 2:30 in the morning. She died in my arms. Well, mine and my sister's. We actually had to put her to sleep because November 12th, I came home from work super upset, not even having a good day. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go to the gym. So I went to the gym and I worked out a little bit. I was going for like an hour. Finally came home and Puddles got up. She came out into the living room and was sitting with me. I was sitting there holding her, and next thing I know, she starts convulsing. I was like, Puddles, what are you doing? I set her on the ground, and I realized she was seizing. I watched her for another minute. She wasn't standing upright. She was having a really hard time, and every time she went to go have a seizure, she tried to run away from me. She tried to get away. So I was sitting on the ground with her, and she literally got up and like tried to walk away, but she couldn't. She had no function in her front legs. She would land on her face, and so she started seizing, and I freaked out. Of course, my dog had only had one seizure prior to that I was aware of, and I watched her have it, and I freaked out. My poor little baby was diabetic, so of course, I'm gonna freak out. It's just human nature. Um, Anybody would do the same thing for a kid. She was like my kid. Um, let's see. After that, I ended up calling my sister who was at work, and I feel so bad for doing that because she couldn't even function. She was freaking out just as much as I was. I ended up, being like, fuck it, I'm taking her to the vet. This isn't normal. I set her on the couch just to sit for a second, and she started seizing again. That time, my mom and my dad had witnessed it, and they were like, holy shit, what is she doing? Like, what's going on? Get her to the vet, and they check her insulin or her blood sugar, and it's undetectable. Like, in any diabetic, that's super concerning. But for a dog, that's even more concerning because they don't usually respond to insulin. So I took her there, and they get her out of my arms and back, check her blood sugar, whatever, get her back out into the waiting room with me. At this point, I'm fucking bawling my eyes out. I didn't even know what to do. Um, they were like, okay, she starts seizing again, let us, or, like, okay, here's your dog back. So she seizes in my arms, and the vet tech comes in right as she's seizing, and she's like, hey, if she starts having another seizure, scream for us. And I was like, okay. About a good 10 minutes passed, and Puddles had another seizure. It's one of the hardest things to watch, and watch them rush in and just take her from me. It broke my heart. So they get Puddles back, put some seizure bells on her, bring her back. And as soon as they brought her back, my sister shows up. And I was like, dude, I can't handle this. I'm going outside for a cigarette. I will be right back. So I go outside, smoke a cigarette. When I come in, at that point, Puddles had already had about 5 seizures, 5 or 6. And she was having them like every hour. Or not even every hour, like every 20, 15, 10 minutes. They kept giving her medication to stop the seizures. And like at that point, they were thinking it was brain tumor because usually that lasts about 45 minutes before they'll have another seizure. She was having seizures faster than that. The medication wasn't working. I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard not to cry. Um, so I come back in the room, and the vet tech sits us down, and she says, we can keep her overnight, and we can, watch her insulin, monitor, check, watch her for seizures, all that good stuff. But we're really concerned that it's a brain tumor. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, my pride and joy, my best friend, my little snuggle buddy, my only sunshine. You have to, you think she has a brain tumor. An inoperable one from what they were thinking. They said that, even with dogs, like, it's not even safe to operate, do, um, like, try to get the brain tumor out because they can die on the table. And so we were sitting there and she started seizing my sister's arms. And they said the best thing for her at this point is pretty much just letting her go. It's super late. And so we ended up deciding that maybe that was the best choice. And as they were putting her to sleep, they told us, it's not gonna hurt her, nothing like that. And she yelped. And at that point, we were seriously on the, like screaming and wondering, are we doing the right thing? Well, at that point, it was too late. She was so exhausted. And so, beaten up from having so many seizures, it's the same as if it were to happen to a human. They have that many seizures, it's gonna kick their ass. One seizure for a human is enough to put them, like make them want to sleep for like hours. But to see it in a little dog where they can't even function afterwards and they have vertigo and oh my god, it's the worst thing on the face of the planet. It's seriously horrible. Well, that happened literally a month before my birthday. I don't even want to celebrate my birthday anymore. All I can think of is missing my poor, sweet little baby girl. Granted, I only had her for 5 years and she was about 15. But still, like, that is one of the hardest things to go through or to watch. Just your little baby, as you hold her in your arms and pet her and tell her everything's gonna be okay, and then she makes a weird yelping noise and, like, lifts her head up and looks at you. Most heartbreaking thing on the face of the planet. And, I thought I'd make a video about it because people aren't aware about what animals go through. They're only aware about what people go through. And they don't get that. And it's really sad. I'm sorry guys, I haven't brushed my teeth this morning. Um, but it's one of the worst things on the face of the planet. I literally had the hardest time. I walked around with her seizure bells in my pocket at work for nearly a month. Like, I just barely stopped. I barely put them in, my little special treasure chest. because it was literally one of the hardest things I'd ever experienced. And every time I'd hear those bells jingle, I'd think she was having a seizure or was with us somewhere in the house. And I know she's still here. I know my little sleeping angel, that's all she would do is sleep and eat. And I'm waiting for her to bark at her food bowl. And, like, literally, I couldn't love another animal as much as I love her. I don't think I could. She was my pride and joy. She's my heart and soul. And to have her gone is one of the most hardest things on the face of the planet. Like, I'm not even joking. When when after all that, I literally just wanted to like drink myself to sleep, but I couldn't. I I literally can't. I can't put that pain on myself. And I know that she knows that we loved her and that we were doing this for her. But it's still one of the hardest things on the face of the planet. Like, it's horrible. Well, anyways, this video is super long and I'm sorry. And thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. It means a lot. Bye.